All right, for writing exponential functions from tables and graphs here, we always have to remember that our equations are of the form f of x equals a times b to the x. So they give that to us here, f of x equals a times b to the x, where a is always the initial value, and b is always our growth or decay factor. So for these particular problems, the initial value is always where x equals 0. So where x equals 0. And we can tell that either from the graph or from the table. So in this case, for a, where does x equal 0? Well, x equals 0 here. And what is the value of f of x when that equals 0? That's 15. So that's my a. For b, I always take then the next value, and I've got to figure out what happened getting from the value at 0 to the value at 1. Did it increase or did it decrease? Well, in this case, it decreased. We went from 15 to 9. So the way I do that is I always create a fraction. I take this value and I divide it by this value. And that's 9 over 15. You can either divide those two, 9 divided by 15, or just simplify that. I know I can yank a 3 out of the top and bottom. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So I take these two values, this is A, this is B, and I just plug them into this particular form right here, and I've got my equation. So f of x equals A, we said was 15. We're going to multiply that by b, which, let me scroll down here. We said b is a fraction, 3/5, or that would be 0.6 as well. Scroll down a little bit more. I need an exponent, and that is going to be to the x power. Let's see if they like that. All right, great. Next question. Here we go. So now we have a graph. It's the same idea. The table gave us the value at 0 and the value at 1. So if we take a look at the 2 points that were given here on the graph, I have one right here. That's at 0, 6. And I have one right here. That's at 1, 9. Same idea. Start with A, and then we find B. A is wherever x equals 0. What's the value when it equals 0? That's 6. So there's our initial value. For B, we take the value. In this case, it's increasing. Take the value at 1, divide it by the value at 0, and we get 9 over 6, which simplifies into 3 over 2, or 1.5. So I take these two things, I plug them into the equation. So over here, g of x equals initial value, which is 6, times, take my fraction out, 3 over 2. I need to raise that to the x power. Did not want that. Need to raise that to the x power. And let's check it out. All right. Feeling good. Same idea here for the next one. Take a look at the 2 points that we've been given. 2 points are 0, 4. We got another point here at 1, 2. So for A, what is the value of f of x? When x is 0, that's going to be 4. For B, I take my value at 1, which is 2. I divide it by the value at 0, which is 4. That simplifies to 1/2, or 0.5. I am ready to type things in. H of x equals initial value, which is 4, times my fraction, 1 over 2. I raise that to the x power, and I check it out. Final one, here we go. This one's a table, so this one comes right out and gives it to us. For A, what is the value when x is equal to 0? That's 8. To find B, I figure out the new value, which is 10, divided by the old value, which is 8. Pull a 2 out of the top and bottom, that's 5 over 4. Go to my table, or go to my box here, that's 8 times. Type in my fraction, 5 over 4. I raise that to the x power, and we check it out. All right, so hopefully that helped you out quite a bit. If you have any more questions, feel free to text, call, or email me. Thanks.